Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilky and I'm here with, I guess, the follow-up video to the Skillbook showcases. And first things first, this will be a sort of a compilation of 3 or 4 things I basically missed or that have changed in regards to the Skillbook showcase. And keep in mind, there have been several requests of other people, but unfortunately I am not able to receive any items at this point because the people I usually talk to are on vacation, so it will probably take a week or even longer until they are back. So the only thing I can really do is catch up and show you guys the things I missed and I currently have the classes for, because basically the way I do this is whenever there's new skill books, basically I go ahead and ask if I'm able to receive items and the skill books. And if I get a positive response, basically what happens is I log into the game, I check the characters, I make the required space, then I receive the skill books along with class changers. And the reason for that is I don't have every class at 63 or 65 or even higher. So basically what I do is I have one of those that are on the required level, and basically just use class changers to cycle through. This is also the reason why I don't have gear for certain classes, or weapons rather, because I don't play them. Now the problem with that is if I miss certain skill books or effects or something, and I am not on the class that I forgot or didn't catch one of these skill effects, it's basically impossible for me to go back to that class unless I would request more items. And like I said, unfortunately at this point, this is not possible, so bear with me. I will probably, like I said, I'll do the Valkyrie. This is probably the most important one, which you will be seeing in a minute. Then I'll be going for the Illusionist, because I pretty much didn't showcase one of the new effects on the book. And then I'm not sure if I will try to get one of the other skill book synergies going, but I'll see that. Anyways, as you know, prior to that, I was able to deal around 1.9 million crits with the skill book, and ever since the last maintenance they have retouched the damage on the final explosion. So the initial damage is the same, which means I will pretty much be able to destroy these mobs very easily. But what's interesting is what the final damage is gonna be like. I'm hoping that one of them will survive. And we saw around 250k crit, which still is a lot. Obviously it's not 2 million. So keep that in mind, that they definitely reworked that. So it basically reinforces or supports my theory that they kinda screwed up there and probably just entered the number too much. But in all honesty, I think the book is still very good, even without this massive damage at the end. Because even those ticks and the pull and everything, it's just an overall really great book. So even without these weird ass numbers I was able to produce with my pretty bad gear, we can still, you know, melt face with this skill book quite easily. I'm gonna rush through this and show you guys how I can still delete the boss quite fast. Obviously not as fast as before, but keep in mind my gear is super bad, so I shouldn't be able to delete this boss so easily. Yet I still am. Alright, we're just gonna go in the mix and use some more skills to speed things up. Oh, there's a rare mob. This might take a bit. He dropped something. Oh, really? Alright, so yeah, basically, like I said, the book itself, effects are exactly the same. The only thing that changed really was the damage on the final explosion, which I very much expected that to happen because it definitely was off the rails, but you'll probably see that I still only need 2, maybe 1 more use of that skill to delete that boss. And I'm gonna go Fury and shoot this. Oh, stay inside. No. See. Damn it. Now it's gonna mess up the numbers because of my pets. So you can see the damage. Obviously, like I said, those 15 to 20k is not from the book. The final explosion it's probably reduced by around, I'd say, 85%. Because I wasn't able to deal 2.5 million crits. The highest I've seen was 1.9, and now I'm dealing 250k ones. So, and there we go, 180k. So you can see the damage has been retouched, but like I said, I still think this book is super, super good. Anyways, like I said, this is the follow-up for the Valkyrie. I'm not gonna do the tower run because we pretty much all know how this is gonna be looking like. Basically, the only thing that changed is the damage at the end. Other than that, there's not much difference. Anyways, I will go for the Illusionist, and after that, I'm not sure which class I will be trying to mess around with again. So, let's take a look at the Illusionist, and let's do a quick read, because I figured out a couple things, or rather, I forgot one thing and I figured out another. First one says, evade movement enabled in the air with arrow keys. Disabled during additional hits, and I initially thought that this is gonna be using your evasive dash, but it doesn't, and I'm gonna show you that in a minute. And casting enabled in the air, Q in the air, I figured that one out, but we're gonna go for the first one. And basically the evade movement is, I'm just basically gonna press my arrow keys. I'm not pressing left click or anything, and you can already see that you can warp around relatively quickly. And around, I'd say after 10 seconds or so, you'll start shooting. And after each evasive move, you'll then be shooting one of the volleys until you reach the final, this additional hit thingy, at which point you will not be able to do that. However, if you hold left click, and no, this time it doesn't work, damn it. So you kind of have to go, have to let go of your left click, otherwise you will not be able to dash around using that. I think it only has super armor, I don't think it has an iframe, but seriously, that mobility is quite good. I will probably be able to go from here very easily up there and then use that. And the second part, where it says casting enabled in the air, pressing Q, anybody who plays Gunner might actually have noticed it already, so you can actually use this skill now in mid-air by pressing Q, which is pretty good. So we're just gonna go ahead and go there. I hope I'm not landing. So yeah, this is basically everything I forgot about the Illusionist book, which is something quite majorly important, I think. So yeah, like I said, using it in the air can be good and bad. I think it's more of a gimmick. It can be used at certain occasions, you know, to just if you were dropping down and you would take fall damage, you don't have not lift kick, you don't have eagle kick on any shamans like on hunters, so you can actually drop down however far you want and you just use eagle kick at the end. But basically you can do this now and be super far in the air, and I think this is really cool, to be honest. And there we go. This is what happens if you start shooting using left click and then using your arrow keys. It will pop your evasive dash, so keep that in mind. Obviously this is only interesting in PvE, but still, for intrusion, this might be a thing. So if you hold left click and then start dashing around, you'll waste your evasive dash. So if we do this again, and I'm just gonna dash around, I'm not gonna press left click at all. I'm just gonna go left, right. You can also dash diagonally, as you can see. See, even now, I can just dash around until the last hits. And that's it. Alright, this is pretty much it for the Shaman book. Like I said, I'll do the follow-up on the Blademaster, and that's pretty much about it. I'm not able to showcase more of the things you guys requested because I lack the classes and the class changers to do so, but I think the first two are the most important ones that I needed to make again. So, looking at the Blademaster follow-up, this is not as important, at least I thought it's not as important, but I figured out a couple new and interesting things. Now, first things, the main book, or rather what came, was the Salt Smash, and this one can combo into Ground Cutter 3, and it has one quite good, well, maybe not good, but one thing that it basically skips Ground Cutter 1 or 2, and seeing if you would only want to activate Ground Cutter 3, you could potentially skip 1 or 2 or not level them up to get this going. But I also, back then when Ground Cutter 3 was released, I messed it up and I figured out something, or realized something, that Ground Cutter book actually combos into another skill which is not listed. So we're gonna go for Ground Cutter first, and I'm just gonna hold left click. So the animations at the end is what you should be seeing, and now this one is Flash Strike. I obviously have the Flash Strike book as well, which is why it changes the animations. But basically, Ground Cutter can combo into Flash Strike, and Assault Smash can combo into Ground Cutter, and yes, you can actually combo these three into each other by doing so to go for a massive amount of projectiles. I'm not sure why or how, but I think it's really funny. And you can see that even with my cooldown reduction, I am almost able to just yeah, keep spamming things, which is kind of funny, really. But I think it's more of a gimmick. Oh, I actually was too fast there for Flash Strike. Let's go one more time for that Sonic Boom with Flash Strike at the end. I think this is really cool. I'm not sure if any of these have an iframe. I don't think so. I think they only have super armor or something. If anything at all. Yeah, I think super armor. But hey. Anyways, that's just what I wanted to show you guys, and I think I will go for the gunner one. Hopefully it's not buggy for me, because the skill book should show an animation which for some reason didn't show for me. But hey, just gonna go and fling some projectiles at my enemies. Alright. Fair enough, let's see what I can do with the gunner, and then I'm pretty much done with the follow-ups. Alright, we're here with the last part, and unfortunately I still am either unable to trigger the exact effect of the skill book, or it's simply buggy for me. I watched the Japanese version, and they create a very good pull or force effect, and they have a different animation, and I'm not sure why. I tried using shotgun, I tried using lightning enchant, and still what happens for me is basically this. No matter if I go with right click or shotgun in the videos, they usually went for shotgun afterwards, so something like this. But for me, there's no pull, there's no anything, and like I said, I don't know why. So unfortunately, this is not exactly how the book should be looking like, but I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's a bug, maybe I need a certain skill unlocked, because I only took a few skills on my gunner. So I can't exactly tell you why this is not working as intended, or why this is looking different. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this follow-up on these skill books. And yeah, hopefully see you guys in the next video as well. But probably not gonna be a C9 one.